Hi everybody, it's Carrie. It's time for a Tiny Tip Tuesday. And although I do have a couple of tiny tips in here, it's going to be a little bit longer of a version. I'm going to be using some of the new products. One of them is this Honeybee home stamp set and the Hive 3D folder. And I brought the cover because I wanted you guys to see that it's not like, see how there's some darker and some lighter. It's going to be a little mottled when you use it. So I don't want you to be surprised when you use it that that's how it's supposed to be. So here's my first little tiny tip. I bought a new Wink of Stella because I use it a lot. And so just as a tip for those of you who perhaps did not know this or haven't used it yet, when you get your Wink of Stella, it's got this black band in it, and you need to take that band off. And then your Wink of Stella is ready to go. Just screw it back on, and you're probably going to have to prime it. There's a couple of spots here that say push on each side, and you'll push those as you're getting the Wink of Stella into the brush tip. So I'm going to probably use my old one today because I'm just going to show you a couple of things real quick. So one of the things that I did was, here's another tip for you. Did you know that you can color your shimmery paste and the other paste? You can color your paste. So all I did was I scooped some out onto my silicone mat, which this is the one I use all the time now for paste, and it looks it. I mean, if I take my time, I can go scrub all those little spots off, but it's clean enough. And just so you know, the palette knife, there's 3 of them. I almost always grab this one. I don't know why. I just do. I know that they all have good purposes, but you know, you get used to something. Anyway, I wanted to show you, I had scraped out, and I was going to do it for you, but I have so much of this left that I didn't want to waste it. So I just put it inside an old container, and then I put the container in a Ziploc bag because, you know, I keep my jar in a Ziploc bag too. But anyway, can you see how shimmery and pretty it is? That was done by adding some Bumblebee re-inker to it. And then I just scraped it onto a piece of Bumblebee cardstock, and you don't want it too thick. You want it to be thin enough because I'm going to put it inside my folder and run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And when you do that, it's going to squeeze out some of the paste, and if you put on too much, it makes a horrible mess. Trust me, I know. So you don't want it too thick. Even with this, I mean, it doesn't look like much is on there, but even with this, it will squeeze out. And I didn't cover the whole thing on purpose. You'll see why in just a minute. But anyway, I'm going to run this through. So give me just a second here while I go take care of that. Actually, I did one in advance because you have to let it dry. But can you see it on there? It's a little bit darker than the cardstock. So that's kind of a fun trick. It makes your honey look more like a shiny honeybee. A honeycomb. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, and this was a trick that was taught to us by another demonstrator, and I apologize to her. I can't think of her name right now, but she showed it to us during our Stampin' Up! Virtual convention, and I just thought this was a really cool way to make your honeycomb look even cooler. Now, if you don't want to run it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you could just run Wink of Stella over it. That would shine it up also after you've embossed. That would also give it a good shine. Or you could Versamark it and then emboss it with like a clear or something like that. I haven't tried that, so don't hold me to if that'll work. So I'm tearing this backwards. A lot of times we tear forward, but I don't want the fuzzy edge this time because it'll be drier looking. And I see right there, that's too dry. So we're going to pull that off. And I don't want it to be even because if you've ever seen a honeycomb, they come out kind of messy. So there is my piece of honeycomb. Okay. Now, when you dry it, it's gonna be curly, so you just kind of, play with it a little bit. Now, I'm going to put that onto a card front. Grab my bone folder here. Okay. And I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal. Now this is bumpy. Sometimes embossed items, you want to use your tear and tape because it's kind of it's not all flat. But this one I've got the bumpies up because this is the one that looks like the honeycomb, so it's okay. So I'm just going to put that kind of in the center of this card. And then I pre-cut out somewhere, there it is. I pre-cut out this little piece, and it is from the dies that come with this set. It's this one right here. This is a really cute set too. Sorry, I'm looking for my glue. All right. So let me pull my silicone mat back over. Oh, my little ring went swinging by. So I am going to just put some adhesive on the back of this little leafy thing and get that started. Whoops. I always start it and then it goes crazy on me. So watch this. I am going to use my palette knife to spread that out. So there's another tip for you. You can use your palette knife to spread your adhesive. I'm trying to get it off of that spot. My nail covering is too thick. So these palette knives are more than just for painting or scraping. You can use them for many things. So now I have adhesive kind of all over this, and I'm just going to set this off like so. There we go. Now I can move that out of the way again. And then I wanted to show you that I stamped the little bee. Okay, I stamped actually all 3 of the bees, and I colored them with blends. All right. I used the I looked up coloring honeycombs because and did you know that some bees have pink? I was shocked. It was a real bee, and so I thought, well, I like that. Just a little bit of pink on it, and then the bumblebee, and then I used the light. I think it's the light. Let me make sure. Yep, the light smoky slate to color like the head on all of them. And then I used Wink of Stella on their wings. So I'm not going to do that for you because Tiny Tips Tuesdays are short, right? Supposedly. But I have those ready to go. Now, this is for my husband for Valentine's Day. And sometimes I call him Honeyman. So I want to show you what I did. I took all of the letters from the, what is this called? The Playful Alphabet, which has like a ton of letters and many multiples. So that's really nice. And then I used the Love You More Than, and I just want the Love You from the Love You More Than dies. Okay. So I have those here also. And I have double sticky. These are just on a tape, but I have double sticky on the back of all of my letters also. So let me see how easily I can pull this off. I don't know. It's been sitting here for a while waiting for me to do something with it. So some of the letters are falling out and some I'm going to have to pick out. What is it? Just the O. Grab my trusty take your pick tool and pop that out. I'm not bothering to take it off the thing, but look at this circle. I would definitely use this circle. I don't know when, but I'm sure I will because it's kind of cool, right? Big giant circle. So anyway, that's a good way to get all of your letters the way you want them. I laid them out on the table and then I just put the tape over it. So I have all those. Now, let's make sure I don't forget how to spell H-O-N-E. Y-M-A-N. Okay, so I'm good there. Now, I want to do the love you, but first, I'm going to pull out the love. And I've already kind of, previous to the video, I have picked out some of the little holes, so you guys didn't have to watch me doing that. Now I made a mess of things. Also, and then I did the love in cherry cobbler. And I am going to pick off the backing. Hopefully this will be easy on video, but you know how that goes. So I might pause this video, I think. Let me pause right here so I can do this for you so you don't have to watch me. Okay, I am back. All right, so now let me show you what I did. I took the love in the cherry cobbler and I put it slightly askew to the one that I had in the basic gray. So I just wanted some red in there for Valentine's. And then I've got the U. Right, I'm going to put that one more on the honeycomb. Whoops. These are, you have to watch so you don't put them askew. Now, this is where it's going to be tricky, trying to get Honeyman all the way on here. So I tried to test it out, and I think that I may have to do it in 2 layers. I had it figured out, but now I can't remember what it was I decided to do. So I'm going to try it. What the heck, right? I can always make it again. So H, and you're going to want to watch. When I get to the A, you'll see this letter, they're like the short part. You can do it the other way, but with the A, it worked out better to do it like that. So H-O. I just thought this was so cute because of what I call my husband all the time. And I think I might need to be a little more crooked. I do. So if you're careful, you can maybe pick them off and straighten them out. Let's hope. You don't want to pull too fast. I haven't pressed them down too much yet. So I'm going to make that a little bit more crooked so that it goes across that way. Now, this might seem like a silly thing for you guys because maybe you don't call your husband Honeyman like I do. But the thing is you could, like, I could have just did Michael. I could have said, I love you, Michael. But I just thought it would be more fun to use my nickname for him on this card. So I hope that you guys are still commenting, even though this is taped. Let me know where you're from, what's going on. Give me some likes and give me some comments. I will review the comments. So we had a nice quiet Christmas. It was just Michael and I really enjoy the peace and quiet. My kids are going with their dad's side of the family. And that's cool too. So that's not perfect. It would have been better maybe. I think I started to slant down here. Let me see if I can do some adjusting. I think I did start to slant down. Well, that doesn't look right either. My N is a little too close to my O. I'll move it over again. It's a little better. So until you really press these in place, and by the way, on the back of them, I don't think I mentioned this, before I cut them out, I put the cardstock onto our sticker paper so that I wouldn't have to try to put adhesive on the back of every single letter. Yeah, that's a little better. I like that. So now I'm going to press it really good and press all of them. Sometimes I like to turn it over and get my adhesive really sticky. So that's really cute, right? But now I'm going to add some bees with some dimensionals. Now I could have put this on top, but I didn't want it to mess up the lettering. So that's why that looks like that. So now I'm putting the dimensionals on the back while, while I decide where I want to place them, because I don't know exactly yet. This was kind of a fly by the seat of my pants design here. I'm going to use just a partial, I think, of this one because it's an unusual shape. So we'll go like that. Okay. So now I have to decide, where do I want these? And if you're shouting to me, this is taped, so I don't know if you are. But I think I like that. So, excuse my sniffles, it is winter. So I apologize for that. So I'm going to kind of make it look like he's so sweet that the bees are landing on his name. Because he is really sweet. Those of you who have been to Mega Meet have met him over the years. And he is a honey. Definitely a honey. And so here we go. That is my card. My husband's Valentine's Day card. So you don't have to be completely traditional with your cards. You can be a little bit unique, and you know, maybe you don't want to use the gray, maybe you want something else. And look, I have to show you this. I still have Honeyman on this, and I may have to decide what to do with it because I have the circle. I still have the circle. So I may use that again because he is sweet enough to keep. Okay, I want to show you another one that I did. This was basically the same idea. I used it as a miss you card, and I only put a couple of them on there. So one is for my honey, and the other one is for someone who I miss. Hopefully it won't be him because he's awesome. All right, so your tiny tips today were to take the black band out of your Wink Estella. Also to color your embossing paste. I think the shimmery embossing paste looks awesome. Hoping you guys can see this. This looks like it has more of the white showing, which is cool. But you can see them shimmer. So I hope you guys liked this. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will be back. Bye.